seconds
What is up, my dudes?
remaining.
We've got the Corporate Esports 32 Spring 2019 tournament going on. Today we've got What's in Your Warlock representing CapOne versus Bing Esports, aka Microsoft Motion in the Ro16 representing Microsoft. So this is in the round of 16. Motion in the Ro16, they were able to make it through the round of 32. I think their opponent forfeited actually, so there was no game that week and they got a basically free win. But let me check the brackets real quick. They were up against Ro16. They were up against the other CapOne team, CapOne Immortals. So I think Microsoft probably a better team than CapOne Immortals, but unfortunately they didn't get to play together, and CapOne Immortals, they got eliminated from the competition. So I think it's a little bit unfortunate that they made it. Well, I guess every team made it to the playoffs, and then it's just the regular season was for seeding instead of other years where there's a limited number of spots in the playoffs, but this year everyone makes it into the playoffs. But still unfortunate to play the entire season and not be able to,
10 seconds to pick.
Actually just get eliminated without being able to play. I think that's very unfortunate. Hopefully the rules for stand-ins will change next year, because this year it's a strictly no stand-ins policy, and it's actually surprisingly difficult to get 10 people together on a Saturday at midday. But let's hop into the game. What's in your Warlock, banning Ursa and Lifesteal. So this patch is being played on... this game is being played on patch 7.22. So unlike the rest of the tournament before this, we're going to see very different picks and bans. Although so far the picks and bans have been pretty similar. The main thing is we don't have to worry about Drow for the most part anymore. I think she's still a pretty viable hero if she has a good lane, but otherwise they basically nerfed her comeback potential. But also the other thing is you can actually itemize her against her now by building armor instead of only being able to rely on like raw HP and evasion were the only two. Actually, not even evasion. You couldn't dodge the marksmanship shots. But they're pretty stock standard bans, except for Jug. I feel like he doesn't usually get banned, but he's definitely a first pickable hero. So I don't mind it too much. I think it's definitely appropriate.
Only 10 seconds.
Off the top of my head, I don't really have
5 seconds remain.
I feel like What's in Your Warlock didn't play that many games in the regular season, or maybe just weren't particularly memorable. I kind of feel bad about that.
Dire team pick.
Maybe I just never played them, that's the problem. And they're gonna pick Sand King first. And Sand King, I think, is a hero who definitely rose to popularity at the end of the last patch. So much so that he actually got nerfed. If only slightly. Sandstorm does about 5 less damage per level. And Motion in the Ro16, they're gonna open with Witch Doctor. I think Witch Doctor is slowly coming back into the game. His Maledict got nerfed a shit ton and went from like a 20-second cooldown to like a 50-second cooldown, and now it's back down to 34, which I think is like a more reasonable cooldown for that spell.
Only 10 seconds.
It's a little bit too strong before. I think it's in a pretty good place. You can use it pretty much every creep wave, which is pretty obnoxious to deal with. But Warlock is on the table for What's in Your Warlock. So hopefully they live by the code. And Warlock Sand King, an absolutely amazing combo because of all the splash damage you do with Epicenter. And then that all gets fatal bonded and doubled up. It's pretty terrifying to go into. Big esports with the Slaughter. Slaughter got an interesting Ag Scepter upgrade. One of the things that happened in this patch. He creates like a puddle that basically behaves like the river. It's actually pretty big. It's 800 radius, which is 800 diameter. but it's pretty big. It gives him damage reduction as well as status resistance and the 700 move speed from the level 4 sprint. It's pretty nice to have. But I don't really know when you would want to build it as a core starter. That's what the accent is for. Jakiro picked up for What's in Your Warlock, so a ton of magic damage coming out for them so far. And leaves some flexibility for the Sand King. He can be the 4 position or the 3 position right now. Jakiro will most likely be the 5 position. He doesn't really need that much farm, to be honest. He just needs a little bit of levels to max out Ice Path, and that's it. But also, there's I mean, you can go with any of the spells on Jakiro and justify scenarios where that's the right one. All 3 of his spells are really good. So, Slider probably also going to be the offlane. I don't think we're going to see 4 position Slider. Seems like a relic of the past. Warlock banned by What's in Your Warlock, so not living up to their team name. It's almost when it's like when $6 million Echo Slam, they kept banning Earthshaker first phase every single game. I think it was just a meme at a certain point. Wind Ranger banned for Bing Esports. I mean, Wind Ranger, I think is the new Ags is quite nice on her.
10 seconds to pick.
He gave you a ton of damage in the past, but the damage probably wasn't that important. The main thing that you got from Ags before was the cooldown reduction, and now that's built into the spell. So, like the extra 30% damage that you miss is nice, but let's be honest, she already shits out a ton of damage. It just makes it slightly better. But now with the new Wind Run, it's crazy. You just can't catch up to her. So, and Viper banned out. Interesting. Normally you would want to ban Viper if you're going to pick a PA. And it seems like they're going to do that. They're going to run this OG style Grim PA combo, which I think is pretty strong. You max the Ink Swell first on Grimstroke, you just let PA go ham.
Only 10 seconds. 5 seconds remain.
And then also the double cask is pretty funny to watch. Always going to guarantee some bounces between them because they're bound together. Double amplify damage, that's pretty nice. But What's in Your Warlock gonna have a Razor pick here, so this could be the safe laner. I think they already have the Sand King, so maybe it's not going to be off lane. I think it would be pretty beneficial for Sand King to get some farm here, so he can start initiating for his team. Because otherwise, Sand King, it's going to be a while before he gets his blink if he's going to be the 4th position. Especially because Razor is going to eat up so much of the farm with probably a max unstable current build. And this way as well, he can do okay against the Slider. He's one of the few heroes who won't get completely bullied out by Slider in a 1v1 lane. But the Bash of the Deep doesn't care about Static Link, so you still get the 225 damage against Razor. So maybe not the best counter that you would think of. I'm pretty sure that like even if Slider goes into negative damage, it won't affect the damage of the Bash. So Big Esports gonna go with Weaver. This, I feel like they were setting up for a PA pick, but maybe it's pretty scary to play PA into both Razor and Sand King. Although Razor, I feel like probably not too bad as long as you have to be patient. You have to wait out the Static Link. After the Static Link is out, it's you can go in with PA. But against Sand King in lane as a melee hero, it's pretty painful. You do have the daggers to go for last hit, so it's it could be worse. But they're going to go with Weaver instead, so you just got to pick a range hero. And Sand King, it's going to be pretty tough for Sand King to harass the Weaver in the lane, because he can always just Shikuchi out of there. Bane as well for what's in your Warlock. So a Bane Razor lane, sleep them into a long static link. So big esports, they need to make sure they stay together so they're able to wake each other up from the nightmare. Otherwise the Razor and Bane are going to completely run over the lane. It's going to be Weaver and probably Witch Doctor up against the Razor Bane. Oh, sorry. Is that right? No. It's going to be Slaughter and Grimstrike up against the Razor Bane. I think these two heroes could do okay against these two. But Grimstrike is not going to be able to 1v1 Bane. A lot of the times the lane ends up being that the supports duke it out when the cores duke it out. And like it's kind of like a 1v1 type thing. At least that's
5 seconds. Hurry.
That's how I like to play. Well, and that's kind of what what's in your Warlock are going for, right? They want the Bane to 1v1 the Grimstrike and push him out of the lane, and they want the Razor to 1v1 the Slaughter and push him out of the lane, and try and keep them separated. So mid is the last hero. I mean, Razor can also go mid. They had some flexibility going into this final phase, although it's most likely that Razor's going to be the safe lane this game. They banned Tinker because they really wouldn't be able to deal with Tinker right now. Don't really have the heroes, but the Sand King's okay. They don't really have much follow-up. There's a big issue on their team right now. They don't have much follow-up for the Sand King. I think Storm could be pretty good here if they decide to go with it. It's just the silence from the Grimstrike. The Witch Doctor cast doesn't really last that long. It's not very reliable, and it can also be tough for Slaughter getting close. And what's in your Warlock gonna pick Chaos Knight, so it's gonna be a mid Razor because mid Chaos Knight sounds absolutely terrible against most matchups. Although the changes to Chaos Strike make it a little bit easier, I think it's still like not a very good lane for Chaos Knight to go into. It's just a very low armor hero.
5 seconds.
So
Hurry,
big
hurry.
esports, they're gonna try and look for someone who can beat the Razor. I mean, Leshrac is still in the pool. Leshrac does pretty well. Maybe some sort of spellcaster type. They could go with like maybe. I mean, they need something to deal with Chaos Knight, because Weaver is all single target. Slaughter, he's got the crush, but after that he's all single target. And they need some like AoE control. Otherwise the CK is a really strong pick here. They could go with Queen of Pain, I think, but they just don't really have the damage to deal with this CK in the late game. Once his illusions start getting enough health to tank through Sonic Waves, I don't really know how they can do that. They could go with Mirana maybe and go for like a spellcaster focus, but again your damage eventually starts capping out and it's not that good. They need a hero who has high mobility. I think Leshrac could be the pick here, but I'm worried that Lesh is just going to completely melt against Chaos Knight. He's going to die in one Reality Rift, and then that's your mid. But oh, this is so tough for big esports right now. They could go with... No, it's just a terrible Deucer game. They're gonna go with Brewmaster. Wow, this is some really old school TI2 style mid. It's not gonna be the Slaughter. It's probably not going to be... It could be the Weaver. They could put the Weaver mid. I think he'd do okay against Razor. You know, with Shikuchi out of the static link. But then you just get bullied by the Razor passive. I think Brewmaster's that much better against Razor. He's a melee hero against Razor. Well, I'm gonna put my money on what's in your Warlock. They definitely have a way easier draft to execute. It's so simple for them. Get Chaos Knight farmed, and then what are they gonna do? I guess they can use the Brewmaster to dispel the illusions. That's pretty nice. Maybe that's the point of the Brewmaster pick, but they could do that from a support position, Brewmaster, even off lane. They don't need him to be... mean, maybe they just drafted themselves into the corner. I mean, in theory, I like the Brewmaster pick, right? You can Cyclone the Razor, and then use the Dispel Magic to take out the CK illusions. And that really limits the damage output. Maybe this Brewmaster was like the 4D chess pick. Okay, I wanna see how this goes. Alright, well, we're gonna start with a pause, but in the meantime, I'll try and introduce the teams, because all the names are hidden under this like pause screen, which is kind of annoying. But on the side of CapOne, what's in your Warlock? We've got Pyro Trout on the Razor, Slick Willy on the Bane, Friendly Neighborhood Willy on the Sand King, BS on the Jakiro, and Strawberry Cheesecake on the Chaos Knight. The side of Microsoft Microsoft Merchant in the Roshan. Bane and Run against the other team. We've got Saren on the Witch Doctor, Mr. Bont on the Grimstrike, nope, I'm reading the wrong one. Patient Disciplined Man on the Slaughter, Poyus on the Brewmaster, and Diabolica on the Weaver. So, no one bought items yet. It's still unclear who's going to which lane. Slaughter's definitely going for the off lane. I think they should put the Weaver mid, because he's the only one who has a chance against the Razor. I'm not really sure, to be honest. This is interesting. All right, well, let's see.
Okay, we're on pause.
What's happening
Go,
here? So,
kill.
the support's not even giving tangos to their mid, whoever their mid is. It looks like Weaver's gonna go mid. Maybe if he buys items, he gets an Observer Ward and a shared tango. He's going mid. It's confirmed. But he has no items yet. What's he gonna buy here? Not gonna open with a Blightstone. Probably not the best. And CK is going mid instead. They 4D chest the hell out of Motion and the Roshan. So CK, I said he was gonna be not the best at mid, but Weaver's not that good either. So has some subpar mids. He's going to be able to sustain himself with the Chaos Strike every 4 seconds, get a bunch of lifesteal. So once he gets level 2, it's going to be pretty hard to take out the CK. That being said, Weaver does hit fairly hard. The Slippers of Agility, Circlet, and Fairy Fire plus 7 damage already on top of the normal, pretty hard 55 with the Geminate attack. And gives bonus damage on the second hit now, which is I feel like it's such a huge buff, but it makes such a small impact on the hero. The hero just like straight up isn't that good right now. His stats are, it just feels like they're a little bit too low. 560 HP to start with and only 1.8 strength gain per level. I mean, he literally just feels like a squishy bug, which he is, literally. But we'll see how this mid lane goes. I feel like Chaos Knight will do okay here. Completely whiffed that last hit. But anyway, so it's gonna be a safe lane Brewmaster, although I think Weaver will be like technically in the 1 position. Up against the Sand King, and Razor up against the Slaughter. So this could be okay for the Slaughter if you level Sprint early. You no longer take bonus damage from Sprint, which is pretty nice. Because it used to be the case that like you would activate Sprint and take 30% bonus damage, but it's those days are over. You might be able to just sprint out of this static link. And he's already faster without boots, so the sprint should make it really easy to get out of there. Also the Ink Swell as well. So Chaos Knight forced to use a Tango already. Weaver only had 1 with him, but he's a ranged hero up against a melee hero, so it should be pretty tough for him to get hit. And there's also no sentry, so if he ever gets Reality Rifted, you just Sakuchi it off. Static Link again on Patient Disciplined Man. No points in sprint yet, so he's not going to be able to get out of here. And he's taking a lot of damage. Bane has a nightmare. It's going to help finish off the Slaughter here. Could have gone for a few more last hits before he woke up, so that's pretty interesting. Oh, but they're going to get the kill anyway. Brain Sap will finish him off. First blood for Slick Willy. He's got a quick boots as well. So this is the dream for any support. And gets smacked by a pretty heavy stroke of fate there. He's got a salve and a clarity there, so it should be okay. And Slaughter is heading mid. Okay, I have no idea what's going on anymore. What is life? They're gonna dual lane the Chaos Knight with the Weaver. Alright, well, I feel like Slaughter should have just toughed it out, got level 2, and then learned Guardian Sprint. But Weaver's gonna go bot now. They're gonna lane the Weaver up against the Razor, which is I think what they originally wanted. But then, you know, what's in your Warlock? They 4D chest them a little bit. Seems like something's going down in top. It's the dual breath. Also the Brewmaster, but Brewmaster is going to be... It's going to take a lot of damage here. He's going to get Burrow Strike as soon as his pause ends. But he should still not die. He's a Brewmaster. So, should be okay. So, Burrow Strike. And he's just going to walk out of there. Haste on the Weaver. That's pretty good timing for him. He's going to run down the Razor a bit. Not even. He's going to go straight for the creep. Makes sense. That's a range creep. So Weaver did come to this lane with a slight level advantage, and level 4 CK against a level 1 Slaughter. That sounds pretty rough.
I think not.
2 points in the Chaos Strike now as well, so a lot of sustain coming out from him. So smack him again with another crit. So Weaver, actually with no points in the Swarm, which is pretty uncommon. You normally go like 1-2-1 at level 4, and then max the Shikuchi first. I think that's a big reason why we don't think this, it doesn't feel like this Gemini attack bonus damage really has a big impact. I think if you were able to max out Gemini attack first somehow, a Nightmare gets cancelled instantly. I think he double tapped by accident, but Grip Stroke could have woken him up, so it would have been fine anyway. I think it's like you have to go for Shikuchi first. Like, you don't have a choice. It scales so much better than all the other spells. But then the value of Gemini attack goes down because you're usually only putting 1 point into it, and then putting the level 4 point into the Swarm. Because the level 1 Swarm is still super good. Maybe this is the build on Weaver. I'm not really too sure. It just feels kind of underwhelming sometimes. Just doing Sand King things. It looks like, actually, What's in Your Warlock won the Century War here. So, oh no, sorry, not What's in Your Warlock. Motion and the Roshan. They won the Century War. They should be able to push this Sand King out a little bit, but they put the Century a little bit too far back. Too far forward. 5-minute bounty runes. Actually, I had a Chaos Reality Rift, but 5-minute bounty runes. It looks like it's going to be for two for two. Nothing too crazy going on here.
For my coffers.
But What's in Your Warlock getting a slight advantage early on. 1 kill up and 1k gold up, but not too big. Big thunderclap onto friendly neighborhood Willy, but he's just gonna go into the sandstorm. Cast comes out onto BS and the Maledict as well, but it was before the crit happened, after the crit happened, so he's not gonna get the bonus damage. BS, he is not gonna go down here. This is gonna be okay. But a big thunderclap comes out again. It's only a level 2 thunderclap though, so it looks like Jakira will be able to make it out alive there. It's gonna be okay. Big static link onto the Weaver, and it's gonna get out of there. they also have a sentry in the lane as well to help a little bit with the lane. And Strawberry Cheesecake, he gets a solo kill on Patient Discipline Man in the mid lane. That's what happens when you're at level 6. CK up against Slaughter. It's pretty bad. He didn't even have to use Reality Phantasm.
Don't think he loved me.
Oh, a big Ink Spell coming in with the Weaver, and they're gonna get the Razor here. You know, Weaver gives up his life, but slows down the Razor a bit. That's pretty nice. Razor's a lower level though, and Bane, he got solo XP there. Actually, he's still level 4 somehow, so that's pretty surprising. He hasn't really left the lane either, so I'm interested to see why Razor's such a higher level. Maybe Slick Willy has been leaving the lane to go pull creeps and stuff. But Strawberry Cheesecake having a fantastic start so far. He does need to worry about the Brewmaster though, because the Panda ulti can just ruin his day. But we'll see if this Brew pick works out for them. You don't always see safe lane Brew. I think like Brew's kind of a weird hero. The farm doesn't really. It matters, but it doesn't. Most of the time he's in the split form during the team fight, so most of your net worth isn't really carried over to your pandas except for auras, which is why you mostly see aura items. But like, there's only so much that you can get with auras. The bulk of the stats, like from the items that give auras, don't really apply to this Earth, the Brew pandas. So I think Panda's in a really interesting balance spot. Alright, well, some action's gonna brew here. Melody goes out onto the Sand King. It looks like Sand King's gonna get crit again, smacked down by Poyas, and he's gonna get take out the Sand King. So Sand King getting a little bit cocky there, and underestimating the level 3 Drunken Brawler, so the level 3 Thunderclap. So just getting that extra crit. Chaos Knight gets another solo kill in mid, even though Mr. Bot showed up. He wasn't able to help out the Slider in any way. But actually, one of the things I wanted to bring up was these Drunken Brawler talents are insane, right? Like level 20 plus 100 attack speed, level 25 175% Drunken Brawler crit multi. So that means he's critting for 435% damage with an 80% crit chance. That's like having coup de grace with an 80% crit chance for 5 seconds, which is absolutely insane. So if this Brewmaster can get to level 25, I wholeheartedly believe in his ability to carry. The only thing he needs to be careful of is to not get blown up during his Brew Split. He will have to use his Brew Split. Actually, another big fight coming out here. Brew Split comes out now, but the Sand King, there's no more detection to catch him. Herbola comes out onto the Jakiro, but the Earth Panda's not following. He still gets another big long distance Herbola on him though. So the cast range of that is actually quite crazy. And Jakiro will end up going down, but that was the majority of the Brew Split, and Strawberry Cheesecake is here now. The Chaos Bot goes out and he misses on the crit. Another miss on the crit, but luckily for Chaos Knight, he will always crit until he hits, unlike PA where you have to like roll the dice. So not really worth it for Poyas there. He gets the Jakiro kill, but ends up giving his life away to the Chaos Knight, who's already having such a great start. He's gonna go for an armless first. None of this Midas bullcrap. This is the way to go. And level 10 already against Patient Discipline Man. Just Slaughter, if he's not careful, he's gonna get instantly blown up here. Another crit comes out. No Reality Rift even. I mean, if he Reality Rifts, actually Slaughter, oh, he gets a bash. Friendly Neighborhood Willy gets a kill on Saren. Witch Doctor trying to go for the bounty runes, but isn't gonna be able to grab them because he dies first. And Diabolica in a lot of trouble. He doesn't do very well against this damage over time from the Jakiro. But he has a salve, he'll be okay for now. But Strawberry Cheesecake, he's so far ahead right now. Pretty crazy. I wasn't expecting this mid CK to do so well. I'm not sure if it was the right choice to have Weaver leave. I feel like Slaughter could have just leveled up Sprint and he would have been okay. But they got baited pretty hard. Actually, yes. 2-second stun into a Nightmare. A bit questionable there. The Fiend's Grip is not available because it's on cooldown, but Slaughter's gonna be able to run out of here, it looks like. The Swarm comes out, it doesn't manage to clip Slick Willy, and Chaos Knight gets clipped. It looks like he's trying to get out of here. He pops the Phantasm, it doesn't get rid of the bug, but this is super scary now for the Weaver. The Grimstroke gets killed in 2 hits, and the Weaver in a lot of danger now. He's got the time lapse, so he's gonna be able to time lapse out of the Reality Rift, but CK is coming in, another Reality Rift. The Weaver goes invis before he gets taken out there. He almost got one-shotted by the CK. It's like Witch Doctor got a Maledict kill onto the Jakiro.
Dire's bottom tower is attacked. Dire's structures are fortified.
So Vlad's first on the Brewmaster.
Dire's bottom tower.
I mean, he is a carry Brewmaster. I'm not really sure what the right build is. I feel like maybe he should have gone for a Radiance, but I think his team needs him now instead of later. This CK is balling completely out of control, and he needs to join the team fights, and he can't. I mean, it's a Brewmaster. He can join the team fights with no items, but the Vlads will keep the Pandas tanky, give him a bit of lifesteal, especially on the Fire Panda. Friendly Neighborhood Willy, he's in a lot of trouble. There's a Sentry Ward. He is forced to walk out of the Sandstorm. He's got a TP home now. Mid lane. Big Stroke of Fate coming up, but Strawberry Cheesecake was one of the first things hit there. A stump comes out onto the Strawberry Cheesecake, but Fiend's Grip will finish off the Slaughter. Ink Spell not really going to help out there. And there's Chaos Knight, he's just on a rampage. Nothing's really going to stop him here. Nice stun onto, oh my god, the Grimstroke. He almost died in one hit there. That was crazy. It's only going to get worse for him as well. That was not a maxed out Reality Rift. Although, hang on, I know they like move some stuff around. He used to have some minus armor, but it looks like they got rid of that. This hero feels like he gets changed like every big patch. Double damage on the CK now, so these crits are going to hurt significantly. And the important thing is he gets plus damage based on the average of his rolls. So Chaos Knight, his damage variance is one of the highest out of any hero.
Dire's middle tower is now but a memory.
But the average damage is also quite high, so the double damage is pretty valuable on him. He pops the Phantasm, he's got to go for the Slaughter, but Slaughter's going to be able to slither his way out of there. But instead, Set King, he decides to go for the tower instead, focusing on the objectives. Saren's TPing in now, and this is going to be pretty tough to take. The cast comes out. Brewmaster, he doesn't have Split available, so won't be able to help his team here at all. And it looks like they're going to be able to get the tower on What's in Your Warlock. A nice Nightmare onto Patient Discipline Man will get a nice big static link off. The Death Ward comes out, but doesn't kill anyone. They managed to save the tower. They can deny it if they want to. They're probably going to want to. And Poyas, he gets caught out in the meantime. He doesn't have Brew Split still. It looks like he just used it, but wasn't able to get anything out of it. He gets taken out by Slick Willy here. Another Reality Rift onto Patient Discipline Man. He's going to get taken out as well. But actually, he might be able to get out of here. Reality Rift off cooldown again. The one more Chaos Strike will finish him off. Meanwhile, Fiend's Grip onto the Witch Doctor. It's not even a big target, but why not? They get another kill. 3 kills for the side of What's in Your Warlock, and they're dominating this game really hard. I'm not sure what happened to Brewmaster. He oh, Diabolica goes down as well to a Brain Snap. Blink reveal for Friendly Neighborhood Willy. Pretty opportune time to kill the Weaver, who is kind of the one position this game. And everyone on the side of Microsoft are pretty broke except the Brewmaster. But even Brewmaster can't even hold a candle to the CK. CK, he's not a hero who is known for farming very quickly, but he just had such a great lane that it doesn't really matter. 4 bounty runes at the 15-minute mark going to the way of CapOne, What's in Your Warlock. And they're on track to completely dominate this game. See what Gaben thinks. Yep, Gaben is like, it's close to 100%. They have to fuck up pretty badly. Mostly, we haven't seen the Brewmaster fight the Chaos Knight yet. So again, using the Cyclone to get rid of the Razor in the fight, and then using the Dispel Magic to get rid of the Phantasm Illusions. That's really the only way they can even hope to win the team fight. And even then, the CK, he's so far ahead right now that even just the hero alone is going to be tough to take down. So once he gets a heart, I don't know how they're going to have the damage to take him out. Weaver does scale pretty well into the late game, but she needs a lot of items before he's going to be able to take out the CK. Nice static link onto Patient Discipline Man again. A Slithering Crush will slow him down a little bit, but he's still linked, and the Bruce Split comes out. But Razor, he's gonna do so much damage here. He cyclones the Bane for the time being, so gonna use his ulti just to kill the Jakiro again. Is he even gonna get the Jakiro? Oh no, Jakiro is actually going to be able to make it away. The Bruce Split ends. Razor still with 108 bonus damage. He can definitely fight here. Slick Willy, he's finally come down from the Cyclone. He's got a Fiend's Grip if he wants to go for it, but Brewmaster has been able to run away in time. Since Razor just king of the world right now. No one can really contest him. And meanwhile, CK popped his ultimate and is going to take top tower with the Sand King. Sand King taking a lot of damage from the tower here. This is a bit of a misplay. He almost goes down, one hit away. Not drawing aggro away from the tower, kind of weird there. Fiend's Grip on the Brewmaster, but Slick Willy backed out before the starter managed to get close enough for a stun. And these fights, they're not going well at all. Where is their damage? They don't have any damage output right now. Razor with an ATOS next, so it's going to be much harder to get away from him now. Can also give him a way to cancel TPs. I think it's interesting change to Roots that they all cancel TPs now. It used to be like pretty inconsistent. But I mean, ATOS, it's like the new... Every now and then there's a stat item in the game that gives too many stats, and ATOS in the last patch was definitely that one. It gave 12 strength and 12 agility, 20 int. A lot of heroes built it for to be able to cancel TPs, but it also gives you pretty decent stats as well as the utility. The item is like, it's too good to be true. There's no reason to build Yules anymore on Razor. ATOS is definitely the superior item. CK going for a BKB next. He just wants to be extra immortal, not going for a heart. And so I feel like I would have appreciated a heart a lot more. But he also doesn't want to get cycloned by Brew. It's pretty annoying. But he can only cyclone one person at a time. So he's got to pick between the Razor and the CK, and you probably see cycling the CK at this point. He's so far ahead. He's doubling the net worth of the Weaver, who laned against him at the start of the game, and then decided to go butt instead. So motion in the Roshan. To be quite frank, they're a little bit screwed.
Invisibility.
See when if Patient Discipline Man is able to get his Blink Dagger, because it could be a really big deal in this game. Blink Dagger, Blink Crush, amplified damage into a Death Ward is still going to be able to kill the CK for quite a while. A nice fatal Soulbind onto the two heroes, but Diabolica goes down solo to the CK at top. Grimstroke as well goes down here. A cast will bounce between the two of them, and the Death Ward comes out with the amp damage, just as I was saying. But Slick Willy, is he going to be able to get out of here? 2 more hits before the next bash. Patient Discipline Man, he's going to try and go for the crush, but Slick Willy already has a Blink Dagger on a Bane. Alright, Strawberry Cheesecake, he's going to get chased down here, but it seems like he's going to be able to turn this one around. Now that Slick Willy's back, he's going to sleep the Brewmaster and take him out of the fight, and Strawberry Cheesecake, he can take on these two heroes by himself. While the Brewmaster, he gets delayed a lot. Bruce Split finally comes out. He's going to be able to put the Hurl Boulder. Actually, he cyclones the CK instead of going for him. And they need to run now. If they're not going to try and kill the CK armlet toggles on. And he's going to instantly kill Saren here. Godlike on the CK now. And Grimstrike goes down again. Second time in this fight. Slick Willy will finally go down. The Brewmaster finally manages to pick himself up a kill. But the Atos, it's there to cancel the Brewmaster's TP. And he's going to go down as well. So all 5 heroes going down. Actually 6 deaths because the Weaver died at top. And the Grimstrike died twice in this fight. 6 kills for just the Bane. It's pretty worth.
Dire's middle tower is being
And
attacked.
they couldn't even touch this Chaos Knight. I mean, even if they brought him low, he could just armlet toggle his way back up.
Dire's top tower is under siege.
Phantasm comes out now, and there's no Bruce Split to use Dispel Magic on it. So he's pretty free to reign here. The counter not really working out there.
Radiant's bottom tower under fire. Dire's top tower
BS now with the max level. Oh, Patient Discipline. Man, he's going to get instantly blown up with the Reality Rift. Beyond Godlike on Strawberry Cheesecake. The Death Ward comes out, but he's going to die. And Mr. Bot gets instantly blown up as well. And Weaver, he TP's in. He's going to double damage him. He's going to take out the Razor pretty quickly, but now he's pretty dead. Epicenter comes out onto Patient Discipline. Man, he's going to go down as well. So it's just the Brewmaster alive now. Grimstrike buys back with 10 seconds left on the clock. That's pretty questionable. And I mean, this Rax will eventually go down. CK is not really the biggest tower hitter without his illusions. Inkspell on the Brewmaster. Is this their time to go? Saren, he drops the cast, but isn't going to bounce between the heroes anymore. Grimstrike will die back here, and then the Witch Doctor will immediately die as well. Brewmaster, he is really their last stand. The Bruce Split goes off before he goes down. Looks like Sand King's going to go down. They might be able to get Strawberry Cheesecake here, but it's going to be really tough. He can always arm the toggle, but he will eventually go down. Finally taken out the raid boss. Slick Willy with a long duration Fiend's Grip onto the Weaver, and Brewmaster didn't help out his teammate. He could have saved the Weaver there, but Weaver ends up dying again. And Brewmaster slept up. The Dual Breath comes out, but there's not enough mana for a Macro Pyre, so it looks like Brewmaster will just barely make it out of there. BS staying a little bit too long. He's gonna get taken out here. Another Death Ward comes out from the Witch Doctor, but no Maledict on the Razor. Also, the Plate Mail means he's probably not gonna die here. Poyas, he's back, but he doesn't have a Blink Dagger, so they don't have any way to catch up to the Razor here. The Plasma Field will slow him down a bit. He needs to wake up the Slaughter, but he's not doing it. Poyas, I think he's a bit tilted here. He could have saved the Weaver earlier as well. Atos will slow down the Grimstrike, who tried to flank the Razor from the side, just not being able to get the Ink Swell off to slow him, to stun him.
Invisibility.
I mean, this Diffusal Blade could be a pretty big damage boost for the Weaver, but I mean, they were able to take out the CK. Weaver got about 1,000 gold from it, so pretty big kill for him. A nice Beyond Godlike streak, and I mean, he's almost got the Diffusal, and he's gonna hit pretty hard once he gets it. You can definitely snipe down these supports pretty quickly, but it's the cores that you have to worry about. Even Jakiro with Yules to slow him down a little bit. And I mean, Weaver's not going to be able to go for the supports until he gets a BKB. And even then, he's just going to get Fiend's Gripped anyway. So this game is really tough. The Weaver is going to have to go for Lincoln's and BKB to hope to stay alive here. And this game is going to end well before that happens. And even if he managed to get both, he's gonna completely plateau on damage output. So this game is very tough for him. Nightmare onto the Slaughter, and gonna go down here. The Enfeeble status resistance reduction makes everything last forever. The The Slaughter goes down there, and it's time to push. If I was Razor, I'd probably think about going for Ags at this point to help end the game faster. But a BKB now done on the Chaos Knight, so pretty much zero chance of him dying now. Witch Doctor will get blown up here. The Soulbind onto 2 heroes, Feeds Group onto the Brewmaster, and this is really bad if they lose the Brewmaster. It looks like he's going to go down with that split. 51 seconds on the sideline with that buyback. Grimstroke's going to go down again as well. So it's looking like a pretty free racks for them. Long duration sleep on the Weaver just to annoy him. And CK, he's going in deep. He's not going for the objectives. So he might go down and lose his first life here. And that was a lot of damage coming out of the Weaver in those 2 attacks. But can they take him down again? It seems unlikely. The PKB with the Phantasm comes out. The Witch Doctor gets instantly blown up here. The Chaos Bot will miss actually. So Slaughter ends up going down again. And they really need a Slaughter to lock down the CK for a little bit longer if they had any chance of killing him. Weaver's gonna come in now, 3 seconds stun, he will instantly die there as well. So we're just gonna wait until Emotion of the Roshan GG out of this, because it's looking incredibly grim for them. Alright, dire I should say. That was bad. Bristlet comes out now, but I mean, looks like he's gonna be able to kill the pandas here. They don't have any way to slow down the Earth Panda, but maybe just gonna body block it a bit. And they're gonna be able to get it? Yeah, they managed to kill the brute inside the split, so you know things are going bad when that's happening. This is like a death by 1,000 cuts. 24k gold ahead, 30 kills ahead as well. I mean, I was on board until the Weaver pick for Motion in the Roshan's draft. And then the Weaver pick happened and I'm like, this hero is not very good. Deathward gets instantly cancelled and Weaver will get blown up as well. Nice 2-man Ice Path into Macropire combo. Patient Discipline Man, he's coming in. Trying to kill the Jakira, but he gets Fears Group for his troubles. Mega Creeps finally on the table. So at this point, Motion of the Roshan, they've finally got a call GG. Maybe they're just discussing what to do in the next game, what they can do differently. Maybe they should have just picked Brewmaster instead of Slaughter. I mean, Slaughter is also like a very hit or miss hero. But they just had nothing to do with the Chaos Knight, and the counter in the Brewmaster, they never fought at the same time when like the Phantasm went out and then the Brew Split came out. The Brewmaster always arrived way too late, and the Phantasm was like, he already got 3 kills. It doesn't matter if you like dispel the illusions anymore. But this is a best of 3, so hopefully Motion and the Roshan can do a lot better in the next game. And see you in game 2.